Go.
Tamara, I'm so happy to have you here today on the set of ELLE On The Go, here in the heart of Venice Film Festival. What does Venice mean to you?
Venice, I think it's the city of love. You know, people say Paris is the city of love, but I beg to disagree. I think this is so romantic. There's every corner in Venice is beautiful, and just the fact that it's the city on water gives it an extra charm. And may I just add, for me, it's even better because my fiancé is from Venice.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's a big deal, but I couldn't agree more. If I had to pick between Paris and Venice, I wouldn't know what to choose.
It's just so special.
If Venice Film Festival was a perfume, what would it be?
Oh, something mysterious, you know? I am really into mise en cire. It's quite a niche fragrance, and I love this fragrance called Celebes Wood. It's a little bit mysterious. It's kind of like spicy, and I think that's what Venice is. I feel like it's a little bit of a almost like haunted city, especially at night.
Do you remember your first Venice Film Festival red carpet?
I definitely remember it. I was very nervous, and it wasn't like my first film festival, let's say, but I expected, you know, it was pretty much at like sort of, I want to say the beginning of my career, but I was already some sort of established, and I was so nervous, but Venice is the city that really gives you that kind of boost, and it's really supports the kind of like creatives that are just starting, which I think is quite special. And I think that's a huge plus about Italy in general. Italy loves creatives that are at the beginning as well. It gives you the extra push.
What was your look? What was your beauty look, outfit? Just remind that moment, recall it.
I was wearing Maria Grazia for Dior. It was one of her first collections. And I remember I was like shocked that Dior actually dressed me.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't believe it. And
Did you just reach out to them, or your team did reach out to them and then you got like an email back, or what was it?
I personally reached out to them. I already had some sort of relationship with the brand, but I thought, like, you know, for Venice Film Festival, they keep the dresses for the most important actresses and celebrities. And I just thought, like, okay, maybe they will have something for me. You know, like maybe if you don't ask, you don't get, right? So
True.
if you don't ask, the answer is already no. But if you ask, you never know.
It's like 50-50 already, right?
Exactly. So I was brave, and I have to say one thing, that whenever I was brave throughout my career, I somehow got rewarded for it. So I had this like beautiful sort of like tarot-inspired look. It was beige, and I did my hair and makeup. I always like to do my hair and makeup because I feel like it's that girly time, you know, before getting on the carpet or going out. It reminds me of when I was a student going out. So it was really eventful. And I remember on the way back home, when I landed, at the time I lived in England, I saw that I was on the list of like best dressed. And I was like,
That was a big deal.
that was a very, very big deal. That was a big deal. That was a lot of luck as well, because, you know, also a lot of things came together.
So how do you get that vibe, you know, of what to wear at a special occasion? How to be one of the best dressed? What's the secret sauce?
I ask myself the same thing every day, because I don't think there's like a formula, you know? So sometimes, let's say I would do, even like when it comes to an Instagram post, I would try and recreate like a very successful Instagram post, and then the second time it just doesn't work out. So it has to be a little bit of, I think, that freshness at first. So if you try to recreate something like a formula, it doesn't work out the second time. I wouldn't really know what the secret is. If I knew, I'd probably be much further in life.
Oh no, stop it, please. So tell me about the trends, makeup and hair trends that you saw this time on the red carpet.
That's an easy one. I think like a lot of less is more. I think we're tuning down the makeup. I mean, we've been in that period for a while now.
Of baking and caking up.
Right? I mean, I think what you're wearing right now, you look absolutely beautiful, by the way. And I think that's the kind of what people like, highlighting the natural beauty and just showing what we have. I think that's really nice. But I think it's also important in these times that are very difficult. I think it's quite difficult being a woman, let me preface with that. So everybody does their best. And the best thing would be just to be a bit less judgmental on each other.
And enhance our own personalities more, right?
Exactly.
Be ourselves even
Exactly.
more. Do you remember, what was your first viral piece of content?
Oh, I remember one that was quite viral that comes to my mind that had 10 million views on Instagram. It was a reel, and I was going to a Versace show. It was just like a very spontaneous one. So I was wearing a look. It was very random idea that came to my mind, but sometimes that's how viral content happens. A random idea comes to you, you try it, and then you just like look at the phone and you're like, wow, this is blowing up. I don't understand why. I don't know if it's one of my first ones, to be very honest with you. I think Reels have helped a lot in my Instagram growth because I try to really jump on that boat as soon as it kind of came out. I enjoy the creativity. I enjoy also how content is evolving. So we started with being like what we now call cringe content, you know, with all the transitions.
Oh yes, oh my gosh, I remember that.
Now when I look back on my page, I'm like, what was I thinking? But I promise, at the time it was kind of cool. It was kind of different, right? So it's the same with when I look at, I don't know, my makeup or hair choices when I was a student. I'm like, what was I thinking? But at the time, it was cool. So yeah, I guess it just brings me back to thinking I also need to be a little bit more gentle to myself. So a lot of viral moments, a lot of changes, and it's very important to kind of adapt to those changes, you know, to not stick to what worked once upon a time.
What would you say to someone that is just starting out?
To be brave, to try, to create, and to constantly to try and create more than to consume. I know it is a little bit weird that I'm, as a content creator, suggesting consume less and create more, but I genuinely think the more you create, the better you get at the creative process.
Which accessory is vital for you on the red carpet, even if it's hidden, like maybe a talisman or something?
Ooh, I think jewelry is very important to me. I mean, I would say my engagement ring, I never take it off. I never take it off.
By the way.
Thank you so much. I think that's a little bit of a cliche. Of course, I wouldn't take that off, but that's something where I feel like it's a piece of love with me. And it doesn't really matter, you know, I hear people say oh, would you like to, once upon a time, change it? I don't think I would, because it's piece of love for me. You know, it's something that in that moment when I got proposed to, it was there with me, and I would love to have it forever, of course. So that's the piece that I never leave without. But if we're not talking about red carpets, I'm a huge bag lover. Bags for me are something that I love to know, the moment that a handbag comes out, I need to go and see it in person. I need to see it.
Smell it.
See if it has any inner pockets, any attachments, smaller sizes, bigger sizes. And I love to, in general, get familiarized with bags. My friends always go to me for bag shopping advice. So I'm that friend that always makes them spend money, which is not the best.
What's your it bag this year?
My it bag, there's so many great ones. You know, I love the Loewe puzzle. I love the Bottega Hop. I love the Bottega Andiamo. I love the Miu Miu bags. I can never have enough of Miu Miu bags. I love the Prada Amy. Is that already too many? But genuinely, I just think there's so many bags I could talk about. In general, I really love also Alaya bags. I love the Row, Margot. There's a lot that I like.
How many bags can you change in a day?
Easily 6. Easily 6.
What do you mean?
Easily. 6. I can have one for breakfast, one for lunch. Then, you know, if I'm going to Pilates, I would have another bag. And actually, I laugh with my friends that I actually bring a handbag to Pilates and I throw leggings and things inside. My friends are like, just bring a tote bag. But I really love to use the things that I have. I don't like them to just sit on the shelf because I always say, people are to be loved and things are to be used and not the other way around.
So your life is a lot of exposure. What does it give and what does it take away?
It gives opportunities to meet people at every corner of pretty much every city in the world. I love that. Today I was having lunch just very close by to the hotel, and a couple from New Zealand approached me and we had a little chat. You know, those are the moments that I think are beautiful because at every corner of the world you can make friends. I think what it takes away from you is that sometimes people can make assumptions based on your content and what you present online. So they think they know you and they like to create these sort of opinions that are not always true. So I suppose that that's a downside, but since I've been doing this for so many years, I learned to also only focus on the good, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do this. I'm quite a sensitive person, so yeah, I would say that in general, people are the plus, but also people can be the minus. So it just depends how you take it.
That's a good vibe. We love it. Thank you, Tamara, so much for being here with us on ELLE On The Go.
Thank you. I really enjoyed chatting with you. You should invite me more often.
Yes.